She said, "You're too jealous," after her male coworker dropped her off at 2 a.m. for the third time. I said, "You're probably right." Then I moved her stuff into the guest room that night. The coffee she spilled when she saw the packed boxes in the morning. Original post. I, 33 male, have been with Victoria, 29, for almost 4 years. We've lived together in my condo for the past 2 years. Up until about 3 months ago, things were solid. Not perfect, but good enough that I'd started looking at engagement rings. Then Derek started at her marketing firm. At first, it was innocent. Derek's really good at the Adobe suite. He's been helping me with presentations. Cool. Derek and I grabbed lunch to discuss the Henderson account. Fine. Derek's given me a ride home since my car's in the shop. Whatever. But 3 weeks ago, she texted me at 11:47 p.m. Working late on pitch deck. Derek will drop me home. She walked in at 1:23 a.m. Hair slightly messy, makeup smudged, story about how they'd grabbed food after because they were starving. I said nothing. 2 weeks ago, same thing. Text at 10:15 p.m. about a client emergency. Walked in at 1:51 a.m. This time she was giggly, clearly had been drinking. We needed to decompress. The client was brutal. I asked, "Victoria, why are you coming home at 2 a.m. with another guy?" She looked at me like I'd grown a second head. Derek's a co-worker. We were working. God, you're so paranoid. Last Friday, the third time. Text came at 11:03 p.m. Client dinner ran late. Derek's driving me. I sat on the couch. Waited. 2:17 a.m. Headlights in the driveway. I watched through the window. They sat in his car for another 8 minutes. Talking. Laughing. Finally she got out. She walked in, saw me on the couch. "You're still up?" "Yeah. Working late again." She kicked off her heels. "Ugh, yes. The Carmichael presentation is killing us. But we nailed it tonight. That's the third time Derek's dropped you off after midnight." Her face hardened. "Here we go. Victoria, I'm just saying, you're being jealous and controlling. Derek is a co-worker. We work together. Sometimes that means late nights. I can't help that you're insecure about it. I'm not insecure. I just think. This is exactly why I don't tell you things. You make everything weird. He's just a friend." I looked at her. Really looked. The defensiveness. The immediate anger. The way she turned my concern into my flaw. "You're probably right," I said calmly. "I am too jealous." She blinked, clearly surprised I backed down. "Oh, okay. Good. I'm glad you see that. I'm exhausted. I'm going to shower." She went upstairs. I heard the water start, and then I got to work. See, we have a 3-bedroom condo. Master bedroom, guest room, and my home office. The guest room has always been the spare room with a decent bed, dresser, closet. I spent the next hour moving Victoria's clothes from our closet into the guest room closet. Hung them up nice and neat. Her toiletries from our bathroom into the guest bathroom. Her jewelry box, her books from the nightstand, her chargers, her laptop case. Everything. Boxed up her makeup and hair products, put them on the guest room dresser. Changed the sheets on the guest bed. Put out fresh towels. By 3:45 a.m., the master bedroom had zero trace of Victoria. Our shared space had become my space. I went to bed in the master. Set my alarm for 6:30 a.m. like usual. Morning hit different. I woke up before my alarm. Made coffee. Toast. Sat at the kitchen table like it was any other Saturday morning. Victoria came down around 7:15 a.m. in her robe. Hair still damp from last night's shower. She grabbed her favorite mug from the cabinet. "Morning," she said, slightly less hostile than last night. "Morning." She poured coffee, added her oat milk and sugar, turned toward the table, and froze. "Why are there boxes in the hallway?" I looked up from my phone. "Oh, those are yours. Didn't want to leave them in the guest room. Might be cramped." She stood there, coffee mug halfway to her mouth. "What?" "Your stuff. I moved it to the guest room. You'll be more comfortable there." The mug slipped. Not dropped, just slipped enough that coffee sloshed over the rim, onto her hand, down her robe. She yelped, put the mug down hard on the counter. "What the actual hell, Chase? You heard me. You moved my stuff? To the guest room? While I was asleep. You were in the shower, actually. But yeah." Her face went through several emotions. Shock, confusion, then anger. This is insane. You can't just what? I live here. I'm allowed to rearrange my space. Your space? This is our home. I took a sip of my coffee. Is it though? Because my name's on the deed. My down payment. My mortgage. We've lived together for 2 years. As my girlfriend, who I'm apparently too jealous of. So I figured, why share a bedroom with someone who thinks I'm controlling for having basic concerns? She grabbed paper towels, wiped her hand, her robe. This is ridiculous. You're being petty. Maybe. Or maybe I'm being practical. You want to come home at 2 a.m. with another guy and not have me question it? Fine. But you can sleep in the guest room. I'm not sleeping in the guest room. Then sleep on the couch. Or go stay with Derek since you two work so well together. Her eyes went wide. Derek? This is about Derek. You tell me, Victoria. 3 times. After midnight. With the same guy. Who you're suddenly inseparable from. We work together. Yeah, you mentioned that. Repeatedly. Doesn't explain the 2 a.m. drop-offs. He's being nice. Giving me rides. Why aren't you driving yourself? She hesitated. My car. Your car's been in the shop for 3 weeks? Try again. Another hesitation. The check engine light came on. So, take it to a mechanic. It's been 3 weeks, Victoria. I've been busy. Too busy to get your car fixed, but not too busy to let Derek chauffeur you around at all hours. She crossed her arms. You're twisting this. I'm asking questions. Questions that shouldn't be hard to answer if nothing's going on. Nothing is going on. Great. Then you won't mind sleeping in the guest room until I'm less jealous and controlling. She stared at me. You're serious. Completely. This is emotional abuse. I actually laughed. Moving your stuff to another room in a condo I own is emotional abuse. That's your angle. You're punishing me for having a friend. I'm creating boundaries. You've made it clear my concerns are invalid, so I'm adjusting my living situation accordingly. She grabbed her phone off the counter. I'm calling someone about this. Cool. Want me to box up the rest of your stuff in the bathroom? She stormed upstairs. I heard the guest room door slam. Update 1, 2 days later. Victoria didn't come out of the guest room for the rest of Saturday. I heard her on the phone multiple times. Sunday morning, she emerged, showered, dressed, and announced she was going to her sister's to think. Take your time, I said. She left. Didn't come back Sunday night. Monday evening, I got a call. Her sister, Nicole. Chase, what is going on with you and Victoria? Hey, Nicole. She didn't tell you. She said you kicked her out of your bedroom and are holding her stuff hostage. I moved her belongings to the guest room because I'm tired of her coming home at 2 a.m. with her coworker Derek and gaslighting me about it. Silence. Then, Derek. Yeah, you know. About Derek, she mentioned a coworker. But, 2 a.m. 3 times in 3 weeks. Always with him. Always working late. But when I bring it up, I'm controlling and jealous. More silence. That does seem odd, right? So I gave her space. Guest room has everything she needs. Chase, that's pretty extreme. Is it? I own the place, Nicole. She's not on the lease, not on the deed. She can have the guest room, or she can leave. Those are the options. She says you're trying to control her. By giving her her own room? That's not control. That's independence. Nicole sighed. Look, I don't know all the details, but maybe you two need to talk. I tried talking. She called me jealous. So talking's off the table. She knows where she stands. Tuesday, Victoria came back. Didn't acknowledge me. Went straight to the guest room. Fine by me. Wednesday, I came home from work to find Derek's car in my driveway. I walked in. Victoria and Derek were in my living room. On my couch. He had papers spread out on my coffee table. Chase. Victoria jumped up. We're just working on the Hendricks account. The presentation is Friday. Get out, I said to Derek. He looked startled. Excuse me. You heard me. Get your papers, get your ass off my couch, and get out of my house. Dude, we're working. I don't care if you're curing cancer. This is my home. You're not welcome here. Leave. Victoria stepped between us. Chase, don't be ridiculous. Victoria, move. Derek, I'm giving you 60 seconds to gather your stuff and walk out that door. After that, I'm calling the cops. You're insane. Victoria said. Maybe. Doesn't change the fact that this is my property and he's trespassing if I ask him to leave. Derek stood up, trying to look tough. You're being real childish about this, man. 30 seconds. He looked at Victoria. She looked helpless. He gathered the papers, shoved them in a messenger bag. This is messed up, he muttered, walking past me. I followed him to the door, locked it behind him. Victoria was furious. What is wrong with you? You brought him to my house, to work, when you got an office. That's what's wrong. We needed quiet space. The office has conference rooms. They were all booked. Victoria, stop. Just stop. You're not this stupid. Excuse me. You're not dumb enough to think I'm buying any of this. The late nights, the rides home, the defensiveness, now bringing him to my house. You think I can't see what's happening? Nothing's happening. Then prove it. Show me your phone. Her face went pale. What? Your phone. Show me your text with Derek. If it's all work stuff, no problem. I'll apologize right now. That's a violation of privacy. You're in my house. You've been getting rides from him at 2 a.m. You just brought him into my living room. I think I've earned a right to see what's so important between you two. She clutched her phone. No. Then we're done. Done? Over not showing you my phone. Over lying to me. Over disrespecting me in my own home. Over choosing Derek instead of addressing my concerns. Yeah, Victoria. Done. Her eyes filled with tears. You can't do this. Watch me. You got until Sunday to get all your stuff out. After that, I'm changing the locks. You can't kick me out. I can't actually. You're not on the lease. You've been living here rent-free as my girlfriend. But you're clearly not my girlfriend anymore. So why would you stay? This is illegal. It's not. I'll call a lawyer if you want. I'm sure they'll confirm that I can ask someone not on my lease to leave my property. She stood there, phone clutched in both hands, tears streaming. Sunday, Victoria. Figure out where you're going. Update 2. 1 week later. Victoria didn't leave Sunday. Or Monday. Tuesday morning, I woke up to find her still in the guest room. I texted her, "You're still here." She replied, "I have nowhere to go." Me. That's not my problem. You have until tonight. She came out of the guest room around 8 a.m. as I was leaving for work. Chase, please. Can we just talk about this? Nothing to talk about. I made a mistake. Derek and we got too close. But nothing happened. Something happened. Maybe not physically, but emotionally. Yeah. And you chose him over me every time I raised a concern. I'll cut him off. I'll transfer departments. Don't care. Chase. Victoria, you called me jealous and controlling for noticing my girlfriend was spending all her time with another guy. You gaslit me. Made me feel crazy. Brought him to my house. Refused to show me your phone. Even if nothing physical happened, you disrespected me and our relationship. That's enough. So that's it. For years gone, you ended it when you prioritized Derek. I'm just making it official. Tonight, Victoria. Figure it out. I left for work. Got a call around noon from an unknown number. Answered because I thought it might be work-related. Chase, this is Derek. I almost hung up. What do you want? Look, man. Victoria's a mess. You're being really harsh. Did she ask you to call me? She's upset, okay? She made a mistake. Derek, let me be clear. You pursued a woman in a relationship. She let you. That's on both of you. Now she's dealing with the consequences. So are you actually. What does that mean? It means I'm forwarding some very interesting screenshots to your HR department. Your company has a strict policy about workplace relationships, right? Silence. Yeah, thought so. Have a good day, Derek. I hung up. Felt pretty good about it. By 6 p.m., Victoria was gone. Guest room was cleared out. She'd left a note on the kitchen counter. You're cruel. I hope you're happy ruining my life. I threw it away. Thursday, got a call from Nicole again. Chase, Victoria's staying with me. She's devastated. Okay. That's all you have to say. What do you want me to say, Nicole? She made her choices. She said you're reporting Derek to HR. Is that true? Yep. That's vindictive. That's consequences. He helped destroy my relationship. Now he can face some professional consequences. You're going to ruin his career. He should have thought about that before getting cozy with my girlfriend. This isn't you, Chase. You're not this cruel. Apparently I am. Anything else? She hung up. Friday afternoon. Got a text from a number I didn't recognize. It was Derek. I got suspended pending investigation. You cost me my job. Hope you're proud. I replied, "You cost me my relationship. Seems fair." Saturday morning, Victoria showed up with Nicole and their mother, Patricia. I opened the door. Yeah. Patricia started immediately. "Young man, what you've done to my daughter is appalling." "Hello to you too, Patricia. She made a mistake. Everyone deserves forgiveness." "Maybe. Doesn't mean I have to be the one to give it." "You reported Derek to his company. You've sabotaged her career." "I reported a policy violation. What his company does with that information is on them." Victoria stepped forward. "Chase, Derek got fired. He's threatening to sue you." "For what?" "Telling the truth. You're destroying lives." "Nah, you two did it yourselves. I just stopped pretending it was okay." Nicole jumped in. "You kept her stuff. She needs her things." "What stuff?" "Her grandmother's necklace. Her photo albums. If she left anything, she can text me a list. I'll box it up. She can pick it up. But I'm not having this conversation on my doorstep." Patricia got in my face. "You will give my daughter her belongings, and you will apologize, and you will make this right." I looked at her, then at Victoria. "Victoria, get your mother off my property before I call the cops." "You wouldn't dare," Patricia hissed. I pulled out my phone. "Test me." Nicole grabbed her mom's arm. "Mom, come on. This isn't helping." They left, but not before Victoria turned around. "I loved you." Past tense. Noted. Final update. 3 weeks later. Derek got fired. Victoria got transferred to a different team to avoid workplace conflicts. She's apparently miserable, according to mutual friends who still talk to me. Nicole called last week. Derek's girlfriend found out about Victoria. He has a girlfriend? Yeah, they've been together for like 6 months. She dumped him. Publicly. On Facebook. Tagged Victoria in it. I laughed. So, he was cheating on his girlfriend with Victoria, while Victoria was cheating on me with him? Looks like it. That's beautiful. Chase, you sound bitter. I'm not bitter. I'm satisfied. Derek and Victoria deserved each other, and now they've got exactly what they earned. Victoria thought you were going to propose. That one stung a little. I was. Before Derek showed up. She feels awful about that. Cool. Tell her I said thanks for saving me 50 grand on a ring and a wedding. Tuesday, I got a certified letter from Victoria's lawyer. She's demanding $15,000 for cohabitation contributions and emotional distress. My lawyer laughed when I showed him. She has no case. You're not married. No common law in this state. She was living there voluntarily, rent-free. Tell her to pound sand. So I did. Well, my lawyer sent a formal response, basically saying Victoria's claim was without merit and any further harassment would result in a restraining order. Haven't heard anything since. Ran into one of Victoria's co-workers at the grocery store yesterday. She recognized me from a holiday party. "Hey, you're Chase, right?" Victoria's ex. "Yeah. Just want you to know, we all knew something was up with her and Derek. They were super obvious. Not your fault. Appreciate that. Also, Derek was a creep. Hit on like 3 different women in the office. Good riddance. Made me feel better, honestly. As for me, I'm doing okay. Not great, not terrible. Apartment feels empty sometimes. I miss having someone around, but I don't miss the gaslighting. Don't miss the 2 a.m. anxiety. Don't miss feeling crazy for noticing obvious red flags. My buddy Connor's been crashing with me some weekends. We watch football, drink beer, don't talk about feelings. It's nice. Mom called last week. Heard what happened with Victoria. You okay? Getting there. Good. She wasn't right for you anyway. Too flighty. You never liked her? I like her fine until she started making you feel crazy. That's when I knew. Moms know. Got back on dating apps. Not actively swiping, just seeing what's out there. No rush. Changed my locks last week. New deadbolt, new handles. Cost me $180. Worth it for the peace of mind. Victoria left some stuff in the hall closet. Winter coats, a box of books. I texted her a list, told her to pick them up by the end of the month, or I'm donating them. She said she'll send Nicole. Fine by me. Don't need to see her face again. Looking back, I should have seen it earlier. The way she started dressing nicer for work. The sudden interest in craft cocktails that Derek apparently introduced her to. The way she'd laugh at her phone and quickly put it away when I walked in the room. But hindsight's a hell of a drug. What I learned, trust your gut. When someone makes you feel crazy for noticing the obvious, that's manipulation. When someone chooses someone else over addressing your relationship, that's already the end. You just don't know it yet. Moving her stuff to the guest room wasn't revenge. It was self-preservation. Everything after that was just logical consequences playing out. Derek lost his job. Victoria lost me and her work reputation. They both lost whatever they thought they had with each other. I lost 4 years and some sleep, but I kept my dignity in my house. Fair trade. To anyone reading this in a similar situation, you're not crazy. You're not jealous. You're noticing what you're noticing for a reason. Trust that. Act on it. Don't let someone convince you that your reality isn't real. Victoria texted last night from Nicole's phone. I blocked her number. I'm sorry. I messed up. Derek meant nothing. Can we talk? I replied, no. That's the last word she's getting from me. Turning off notifications now.